that noise, that constant noise, is bad for you. Full stop. You have to get more comfortable with silence, with that lack of noise. Are you comfortable with silence? And when I say comfortable, I guess I mean to a point to where you can do a stretch of time with no noise, nothing in the background, no smartphones, no screens, no Spotify, no podcasts, no audiobooks, no walking around stuffed up into your headphones, no looking at social media, no noise, nothing, silence. Noise definitely being the key word there. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but in this post-industrial hellscape that we find ourselves in, it's pretty much noise all the way down. Hey, speaking of noise and going off the precipice, do you know this guy? This is Doug Levinson. Doug went viral about a decade ago because he went ape as one is wont to do on some random guy that was playing trumpet. It was somewhere down in the bowels of Manhattan in some historic district, and there was this dude playing trumpet, and by God, the dude was playing it flat, and damn it, Doug wasn't having any of that. You're flat. So Doug began to, as one is wont to do, verbally assail the guy for the offense of playing the trumpet flat. You're flat. He started making gestures like he was going to hit him with his fast food sack or his garbage sack or whatever. Get the out! Get out! He was telling him that he sucked. He called him a nothing. You nothing! You nothing! You are nothing! He said the guy was the embodiment of everything that had went wrong in the world. You're everything that's gone wrong in this world. You are self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit. He even went as far as to say that the dude was so bad at trumpet that he didn't have any respect for himself. So you obviously don't have the talent. You don't have enough respect for yourself or other people, or what it is to express yourself in music or any other form of creativity. Doug was really pissed off about this, and he was throwing the low blows hard and in rapid succession. And then Doug pivoted into his own expertise and accolades, which were lengthy in comparison. And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker, and the School of Visual Arts, and the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. You suck! He said he had earned the right to be critical because he had went to, all these schools, and in an unbroken stream, he started listing out all the schools and accreditations and accolades that he had, each one being a bit more prestigious than the last. I'm trained classically. I'm trained contemporaneously. All right, enough. He said that he knew the Grateful Dead. He said he had walked Bob Dylan up on stage. He got super emotional when he said that. He threw down his fast food sack when he was saying that. I had 200,000 people with Bill Graham. In 1975, I walked Bob Dylan up on stage. I knew the Grateful Dead from 1966. Who the f*** are you? So it's stupid. This whole situation is stupid. Like, it's stupid. Doug worked himself up into hysterics, basically. He got into like a full lather, onto this trumpet playing interloper. And then Doug dropped a pretty legendary line in a full lather still completely unhinged on this guy. Like, it fully out there, completely untethered. Doug said the line, "You're no artist. An artist respects the silence. It serves as the foundation of creativity." You're no artist. An artist respects the silence that serves as the foundation of creativity. Ooh. As soon as Doug said that, I knew Doug was a real one. Like him or hate him, I knew. I was like, yo, Doug gets it. Like, this is legit right here. But then something interesting and telling happened. Just after delivering that bit of brutal truth, Doug, still untethered, mind you, reached into his front pocket, pulled out his 2012 to 2014 tier smartphone, momentarily completely forgot about the trumpet guy, and poured all of his attention into whatever random notification had just zapped in his front pocket. How dare you? How dare you? You miserable, mediocre nothing. Shame on you. And then after a few moments of that, like as though coming back online, he came out of his fugue state, put the phone back in his pocket, and then remembered that he was like verbally assailing this trumpet guy. And he goes back to it. But, as these things happen, the break in energy had slowed the momentum, and Doug wasn't able to really get back the full fury of his pre-notification rantings. You suck! So that whole story's stupid, right? It's stupid. It's a stupid story. But at the time, it went viral, like mega viral. Like, I don't even remember how many views it had. Let me take a look. So we got 7.5 million views now. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot now, but at the time, that was, like a lot. However many is in a ton. That's how many views were on that. So this thing went super viral. This little video did. Why? What was it about the video that made it go viral? Well, you got a bunch of tropes. You got the voyeuristic, panopticonic, Orwellian smartphone video. Somebody doesn't know they're getting videotaped and they are, and they're ranting and that. So it's got that. It's got the rantings of what basically adds up to a GTA 5 side character. It's got Doug's look in and of itself. That's pretty interesting. And it's got the, the general malaise of the truly downtrodden right there. And all of those things were good. But the main thing the video had going for it, the thing that made it viral was this. It was novel. It was out of the ordinary. It was something new. This chaos was new. These clips of people just going ape for like seemingly no reason in the wild, that was a new phenomenon at the time. Now that everybody had a smartphone in their pocket, we were starting to see more videos like this. Random human interactions, short, no context, just the straight red meat, I didn't need to know Doug's backstory. It didn't matter what his motivations were past his, momentary acute affrontedness. None of the classic narrative structures were required at all. I just knew that dude was going ape. Hey, look, that guy, he's going ape shit. The reason the Doug video is important to me, the reason it's worth mentioning, hell, the reason I'm making this video. For me, the Doug video represents the first time that I can consciously remember kind of like watching something like this, the full video, watching the full video, having a bit of a chuckle like, oh yeah, look at this guy, he's going crazy. And then immediately having this feeling as though I had been robbed a bit, that I had lost something, that I'd lost those 3.5 minutes to what amounted to be, noise. That there was like nothing really there, nothing worth viewing and wasting time on. And then what hit me at the same time was with the virality of it, that there were millions of people experiencing the same thing. So it's like 3.5 minute video, millions of people are watching it, horizontally scale that. We're talking like millions of minutes, potentially millions of hours of time devoted to noise, nothing, the stupid nothing, noise, right? And I remember that was a very uneasy feeling when I realized that. Closing in on a decade later, you already know there is nothing novel about the Doug video. There's nothing exciting. Hell, there's even nothing out of the ordinary at this point. You could go as far as to call the Doug video boring by today's standards. It's not even a short. It's 3.5 minutes long. Like, who has 3.5 minutes to watch a full video, right? And at the time, I remember videos like the Doug videos started increasing in how common they were, to a point to where they just became part of the culture. That was it. Unscripted, random, chaotic shots of people just going ape out in the wild. You know what spontaneous lexicalization is? Yeah, me neither. So what that is when something becomes so common that a new word has to come into being to account for said phenomenon. AKA, you could call the Doug video like a proto crashout video, right? If I sent somebody a video now and I was like, yo, it's a crashout video, the person I'm sending it to would know exactly what I'm talking about, even though I've never told anybody what crashout means. We all just know what it is. It doesn't need context. You don't need to know who it is. You just know you're about to watch somebody go, hey, they're going to crash out, right? Well, here's the thing. You and I, fellow sinners, are drawn to these videos like moths to a flame, it seems. Why? Well, a good analogy to viewing this kind of hyper-curated, hyper-sensationalized content might be worth comparing it to something like fast food. That might be a pretty good analogy. Why? Well, fast food was designed specifically to hit certain pleasure centers in the brain right out the gate without any work being involved, right? It's the processed sugars, the carbs, the chemical additives down to the texture of the food. It's all designed to hit those pleasure centers in the brain with minimal effort. And it's also cheap and it's easy to get and it's abundant. It's everywhere, right? So you got something that tastes good, it's easy to get, it's cheap, and it's less time consuming than schlepping to the grocery store, buying groceries, coming home, cooking them, doing the dishes. And cooking for one sucks. Here's like a chart on the amount of people that are single. We're all going to be single in like 10 years, and cooking for one sucks. So it makes sense to be like, yeah, I'll just stop at In-N-Out Burger, get a burger, eat it in the parking lot. I'll like put my phone there, eat it in the parking lot. And that all sounds great, except for the fact that fast food is terrible for you. It spikes your insulin, clogs up your arteries, makes you fat, makes you ugly, and worse yet, it's mad addictive. So if you eat enough of it, if you shovel enough of that disgusting into your mouth and then you try to quit eating it, oh no, you're addicted to it now, right? And this pretty much mirrors smartphone use at this point. But the thing about the smartphone use is it's just becoming more pronounced. It's getting worse with the smartphones, honestly. Over the past 10 years, there have been multiple mutations of that first idea of what a Doug video is, to the point to where Doug videos and its many different mutations has become just the norm. That's just the norm. That's just the culture at this point. It's what's expected. And it ain't just like one thing. It's not not just crash out videos. Think of how many words we've had to come up with over the last years to account for all this different flood of new content that we got. Well, you got thirst trap content, rage bait content, you got clout chasing content, instant karma content, Karen compilation, crash out, alliterative bullshit, hot take rants, spicy political videos, an ever increasing array of slop, both actual and now AI generated to a certain extent, with ever increasing numbers of people just hooking in and constantly staying connected to it like hogs in a slop trough. So all of that entire gestalt of what I just said, all that different kinds of content, staying hooked into it, staying jacked into it all the time, all the slop, all of that entire set of activities points to a big new word that we've come up with, doomscrolling. To the point to where now that constant connection to your smartphone, to this content, to this doom scrolling, it ain't something new. It ain't something novel. It's expected. It's part of the culture. And there's also this ever increasing, almost fatalistic bent to our relationship with technology at this point. So the common, the expected, the culture at this point is noise. Unabated, unrelenting, constantly hooked in noise. Remember Doug's banner line? An artist respects the silence that serves as the foundation of creativity. Well, what about that? Well, you, I don't have time for that. I got a podcast to listen to. I got Rage Bait to check out. You heard that new Nick Fuentes soundbite? And on and on and on down the slop hole we go. Now, try to go read a novel in silence. Bet you can't. Look, if you want to survive on fast food, I guess that's your right, honestly. If you want to just consume, that's your right. And I'm not even trying to make it sound bad. Some people just enjoy consuming stuff. I understand that. But you got to know the cost. So what is all this noise costing us? Well, here's a pretty damning chart about novel problem-solving skills and reasoning ability. Look there at Clown Card off a cliff, 2012, 2014, right around the time the Doug video came out, right around the time we all got smartphones and just fell into the smartphone. So it's actually making us dumber. The noise is actually making us dumber. But that's not all. Here's some charts on attention spans collapsing, feelings of anxiety, feelings of depression, feelings of isolation, and on and on and on and on and on. Damn, it seems like we're giving up a lot here. Sense of well-being, societal cohesion, ability to concentrate, ability to even appreciate. And for what? Doug videos, ever increasing slop. Now, a large portion of it AI generated. So it's not even real slop. It's fake slop. I mean, how low can you go, right? That's the basic definition of noise, distraction, overstimulation, noise that is burning out your dopaminergic system. It's literally not real. It's slop that ain't even real. It's just grating noise all the time. Stop. Listen to me. This is bad for you. That constant hum in the background, the foreground, the peripheral, that noise, that constant noise is bad for you. Full stop. You have to get more comfortable with silence, with that lack of noise. So when you're sitting there, thumb flicking, watching some AI-generated video of a random stranger, crash out in a Walgreens parking lot, just remember, this isn't entertaining. It isn't entertainment. This is not even real. This is a tax that I'm paying on my attention, my emotional state, my ability to concentrate, my ability to emotionally regulate. And what am I getting back for it? Nothing. Jack shit. Not less than nothing. The only thing I'm getting back from it is the sense that I've somehow made myself dumber, that I've made these assholes richer, and that I've been robbed somehow of something. I've been distracted out of a moment, and then another moment, and another moment. You multiply that across time, and boom. I'm doom scrolling. I am scrolling toward my doom, and I don't even know why. And remember what Doug's banger line said. Silence serves as the foundation of creativity. So you have to think about it like this. Anytime you put your phone down, you're not losing anything at all, but you are getting something back.